Kaiser Khan here, back with another video for Global War 1936. This is turn 7 for the CCP and the USSR. And one thing I need to correct from last turn, of course, last turn was a very busy, active turn, a lot going on. And I think when I moved my army that was in Western Germany into Belgium, and then I blitzed into Picardy with the units that were able to blitz. I then non-combat moved units that weren't able to blitz into Picardy. I don't think I can do that. You can't move units in a non-combat movement phase that have already participated in a combat movement phase. So I guess I kind of got confused in that, you know, it was talking about how the unit movement resets, and I guess at the time I was thinking, oh, the units reset for the non-combat movement phase, but that's just for the second sequence. All right, so I don't know how differently the whole battles would have played out. It may have made a huge difference. I mean, we're never going to know. I can't really go. I mean, I could go back and redo the whole thing, but I don't feel like it because it just take forever. Just in the next game that I play, I'll have to remember that, and of course going forward too. So, I mean, the Germans took a ton of casualties anyway, as it is. I mean, they suffered a lot of losses. So I think the strategy I think I tried to do too much all in one turn. I mean, I went after Belgium, Switzerland, France. I think if I had to do it again, I wouldn't have gone after Switzerland. I would have just stacked up everything in Western Germany, moved into Belgium and Picardy in the first blitz in the first sequence, and then in the second sequence, split my forces, blitzed into Alsace-Lorraine and southern France, and then blitzed into Normandy and Aquitaine. I think it might have gone a little bit better had I done that instead, rather than trying to go through Switzerland and all that. So I'm thinking one thing I could do to counter the German move of doing the non-combat stuff is just give Switzerland their territory back and say that they're just neutral, and Germany would lose 1 IPP. They'd be down to 44 instead of 45. But I mean, this is just a solo game. If I were playing with other players, then we would have to redo that. But other players would probably be there and say, hey, you know, you can't do that kind of thing. So we'll just remember it for next time and for the next game. I think that was the only illegal non-combat move that I made, was from Belgium into Picardy. And then I think I used those same forces to move into Alsace-Lorraine. I can't remember in the second sequence. So, I mean, that battle might have gone a lot differently. Had we not been able to do that. But, you know, I mean, hindsight, of course, is 2020, but my whole strategy would have been completely different had I known that wasn't legal. So I think the play there, if you're going to attack early on turn 7 as Germany, just stack everything in Western Germany and just go into Belgium and Picardy and then split your forces from there. If the opportunity presents itself to move into Paris, then you can, certainly. But I wouldn't do it from Picardy because you've got this river penalty crossing here. So I would only attack Paris from either Normandy or Alsace-Lorraine and do it on the blitz. And I do think that for the blitzing rules still apply for Germany, even in the Blitzkrieg special ability, that in order for you to be able to blitz into the next territory, you have to complete the that first round of combat. You have to complete it within a certain amount of rounds. I think it's like 3, I want to say. Let's actually look that up real quick. Combat. Blitz. Combat is resolved in 2 combat rounds. So combat round lasts 2 rounds or less, and units must have sufficient remaining movement. So in order for you to blitz it, you have to resolve the combat. For you to blitz into the next territory, you have to resolve the combat in 2 rounds of combat. So I don't think we did that either. So, and I'm pretty sure that rule also applies to to the Blitzkrieg ability as well. So yeah, I think pretty big error there. But because in that case, I probably would not have been able to conquer all of France. I would have to wait till next turn. I think we did Poland correctly, but I think in France here, we kind of screwed it up here. I think I'd have to go back and watch the video, but I think Belgium was okay. Maybe Picardy. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch. I don't remember. So anyway, let's get into the CCP. We made a little bit of a mistake by trying to defend Shanghai, and I think it would have behooved us better to just move all of our forces back into Xinjiang when we attacked Xinjiang, rather than split our forces up, left us more vulnerable. The Japanese were aggressive, took advantage of that, so that was a big mistake on the CCP's part. Now they're going to have to try and build their army back up, and are they going to be able to do it in time before the Japanese attack Xinjiang? So we'll have to see. We're going to try and, we're going to try our best to build our forces back up and hold the Japanese back, but I think it's going to be difficult. But maybe their focus and attention can be on the KMT for a while. That gives us time to kind of build back up. So we're not going to make any purchases. We only have 2 IPP to spend. We're going to save our money. We're going to non-combat this guy in Xikang back to Tibet. That's going to be our only movement. And we will call it a turn for the CCP. They will collect 2 for the railroad. That'll give them 4 for next turn. All right, let's move on to the USSR. So we did agree to sign the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact with Germany. So this will allow us to invade eastern Poland and also to invade the Viipuri province that's up there in eastern Finland. But first, before we start doing any of that, we also get an extra tech roll. So we have 2 tech rolls now. But before we do any of that, let's do our income increase. Let me take this off the board. So we are at turn 7. Okay, so we're going to do Nationalist Spain too. I can't forget about that. So we do get an income increase. That's a D12. role. So we will definitely get research for sure. We're guaranteed that, but we got our eyes set on wartime income here at 19, which we would need to roll a 5 or greater. So, but before we do that, let's run through the Republican Spanish. Nothing going on there. We're just going to keep turtling up in Catalonia. Let's roll for our recruitment roll, which is going to be at a 4. And we miss. Okay. Let's go ahead and do our recruitment roll for Mongolia. Oh, and we hit. All right. And then we also need to do our recruitment roll for the CCP. So let me get Mongolia out here. We're just going to take an infantry and we're going to place it in... See, that is Mongolia, isn't it? I think it is. Pretty sure it is. All right. And we're going to take a regular infantry, and we're going to place him in Carolyn. Okay. And now let's do recruitment roll for the CCP, and we are at a 3 for them. No, we missed at a 9. Okay, so we're done with the Republican Spain. Let's move on to the USSR. Let's do our income increase, and let's see what we get. A 7. Okay, so we are going to surpass wartime income. I believe that will put us at 21. 6, 7. Yep, 21. Perfect. So this will allow us to invade all of Finland. We don't have to stop at the Viipuri province. Okay. So let's do our tech rolls. We have 2 of them. We are going to do improved factories and jet fighters. So improved factories will be at a 7. And jet fighters will be at an 8. Okay. And let's see what we get. Okay, well, we missed on factories, but we did hit jet fighters. So jet fighters will move up to stage 1. Okay. Actually, we get more research than that. So we did the 2 that we get from our strategic objectives, or well, the 1 from our strategic objective, and then 1 for the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, and we get 3 more on top of that because we surpassed our research IPP requirements. So let's go for advanced. Let's go advanced artillery. Let's go strategic rockets, because that's a part of one of our victory objectives. And what do we want our 3rd one to be? Improve logistics is good. Let's go for heavy armor. Okay, so advanced artillery is going to be at a 7. Heavy armor is going to be at an 8. And strategic rockets will be at a 9. Okay. See what we get. Oh, did we hit all of them? We hit every single one of them. Nice. All right, so we move up to stage 1 on all of these. Not too shabby. Okay, that was an excellent tech round for the Soviets. Okay, let's, oh yeah, Paris has fallen. So we got to take that off the board. Did we get Festung Europa? I don't think we've gotten that one yet. Let's see. Let me check. Oh, which one does that entail? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the Festung Europa is basically if you have a land unit in at least one land unit in every territory from Denmark all the way down along the coast to Aquitaine, you get to place your choice of a fortification or a coastal artillery. So it basically represents the Atlantic Wall. But we don't have, Germany doesn't have at least one unit in every coastal territory along that coastline there. So they'll be working on that next turn. Okay, so purchases. Let's see how much we have here. We don't have to use our air transport any longer because we have a direct rail connection to the CCP now. 70, 80, 90, 20, 21, 24. We have 24 to spend. And I think, what do we want to do? We can't purchase medium tanks until next turn, so we might just save our money. Do we want to lend lease anything? Well, given that the Germans only have one infantry on the Eastern Front, they got shelled last turn, or during their turn. Maybe we can't afford to lend lease something to the Republican Spanish. Let's lend lease them an artillery. Is that what we want to do? Yes. Let's lend lease them an artillery. Okay. Let's get an artillery out of the box. And I think that's going to really be, all for our purchases. We'll go ahead and place this in Catalonia. It'll depart from the Red Sea and go all the way down. We're not at war with anybody, so if someone wanted to declare war, I guess they could try and interdict it, but I don't think they would want to start war just yet. So they have 3 artillery now in Catalonia. Let's see what we want to do in terms of combat here. So we are declaring war on Finland. Let's resolve this naval combat here in Sea Zone A14. We're going to try and take out this coastal defense ship. So we have 4 fleet submarines out of 3. No hits. We have a torpedo boat destroyer at a 2. No hit. We have, I believe that is a destroyer and a light cruiser. No, that's 2 destroyers and a light cruiser. So let's roll for them. So that's 2 out of 4. No hit. And then 1 out of 5. And there's our hit. Okay. Getting a little worried there for a second. Now he has a coastal defense ship that defends at a 6. And he does get a hit. Okay. We're going to lose the torpedo boat destroyer. Pretty easy decision there. So we just take those guys off the board. All right. And Russia is under here. Okay, so now we get to go into Finland. We have, let's figure out what our moves are going to be here. So all of these guys in Karelia are going to move into Viipuri. Now we're not going to be able to take out Finland this turn, not all of it. So it will become controlled by the Germans, and then on the German turn, Finland will get a recruitment role. And, you know, Germany controls Finland. They can, if they wanted to attack, they could move their troops. They could do, you know, whatever they could as if Germany were, you know, as if they were an active nation that can actually make moves, just like nationalist Spain. We're going to move 2 cavalry into Lapland. 1 fighter will come up 1, 2 and support the attack in Lapland. And I think we're also going to send in we want to make sure that we get hits there. So, no, I think we'll just do 1 fighter, and then we'll do the tactical and the fighter in Viipuri. Okay. So that fortification in Finland and Viipuri province only protects against the Leningrad border. So we're attacking from the Karelian border. So there is no boost for the fortification. Okay, so we have 2 artillery first strikes, and those will be out of 3. No hits. We are attacking into Marsh, I do believe. But that only affects vehicle class units, both on the attack and the defense, it looks like. They would get -2. Okay, so let's roll for our tactical bomber, which is at a 7. There's a hit. And then our fighter, which is at a 6. That's a miss. And then we have 2 infantry we have a total of 6 infantry. 2 of them are boosted to a 3 from the artillery. That's a miss. Then we have 4 more infantry. And these are going to be at a 2. All misses. Okay, so we only end up with 1 hit there. And they get 3 units to defend. They're all infantry at a 4. And they all miss, okay? So that's 1 that comes off the board on his side. All right, and then we go for round 2. We have a tactical at a 7. Miss. Fighter at a 6. That's a hit. And then we only need 1 more. We have 2 artillery, 2 infantry at a 3. And this is kind of cocked, but it's either a 2 or a 3. Either way, it's a hit. That's our 2 hits. And then we have 2 infantry at a 4. Both misses by quite a bit. All right, so we take over Viipuri province with no casualties. And so what will happen is the fortification will get destroyed. And if the Russians want a fortification in that province, they're going to have to build one themselves. All right, so these planes will come back into Leningrad. They're done. And then we have those guys in that province. That province is not worth anything. Okay, so now we need to resolve that northern territory up there. So we have a fighter at a 6. That's a miss. And then we have two cavalry at a 3. We get 1 hit. And then he gets 1 at a defense of 4. He gets a hit. Oh boy. Something tells me I should have brought in some more units. So we did get our hit that we needed though, so it's not a big deal. Okay, and Lapland is worth 1, so it didn't cost us a cavalry unit. Okay, let's get some roundels out. Place them down. I gotta check the rules to see if we can collect income from Lapland. I can never remember if it's either annexed territories, or if it's that you can't collect income from, or if it's conquered territories that you can't collect income from. Let's see here. See, we may annex Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Bessarabia. So I think we can do that now that we hit our wartime income. Aligned captured land zones. Income from annexed land zones can be collected immediately. Okay, so we cannot collect income from Finland because it is captured. So we will just leave it be. This fighter from Lapland will come down back to Leningrad. Let's see. Okay. And we do have a strategic objective here to win the Winter War, which is to wipe out Finland. So hopefully we can achieve that. Non-combat movement. Tell you what I'm going to do. This air transport will come into Leningrad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 2 infantry are going to rail all the way down to Caucasia. This infantry will come over to Novosibirsk. We actually have more combat. I forgot. I'm about to forget about Poland. Okay, so we are going to move some troops in here to annex some territories, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. This armor is going to basically blitz and take both. 1, 2. This guy here will go 1 and take Polachia, and then 2 and join the attack into Lubelski. These guys will come into attack East Poland. All right, so let's get some roundels out. Since we annexed Lithuania, that does count towards our IPP, so we go up 1 for that. So that puts us to 22. And we will need at least 4 roundels for now. So we've gotten that one, Lithuania, and Polachia. Okay. So let's resolve some combat here. Let's do the territory that has the 2 Polish militia. Let's do that one first. We have 4 infantry at a 2. And there's 1 hit. He's got 2 militia at a 2. No hits. Okay, so he loses 1 militia. We can remember that. Shouldn't be a big deal. Okay, we have 4 infantry at a 2. Or, yeah, at a 2. That's a miss. And then he has 1 at a 2. And he misses. So let's go for another round. And we get our hit. And then he gets 1 at a 2. And he misses. Okay. So we take over that province with no casualties. Now, technically, these would be British, and the USSR would be allowed to attack them without declaring war on a major power like Britain. But I figured it was easy to just leave them on the board since it doesn't really matter. Leave them on the board as Polish, that is. All right, and then we have the final battle here in East Poland to resolve. He's got a militia at 2 and an infantry at a 4. And then we have a light armor at a 3. It's a miss. And then we have 3 infantry at a 2. All misses. He has an infantry at a 4. That's a miss, barely. And then a militia at a 2. That's a miss. Okay, so let's go again for round 2. Armor at a 3. Miss. 3 infantry at a 2. All misses. Infantry at a 4 for the defense. And militia at a 2. All misses. All right, round 3. Light tank at a 3. Big time miss. 3 infantry at a 2. And there's 1 hit. He gets a defense at a 4. Oh, he gets a hit. And then a defense at a 2 with a militia. And he misses. All right, so that's 1 loss per side. We are going to lose the regular infantry. He will lose the militia. So now we have 1 light armor at a 3. Oh, and there's our hit. And then he has a defense at a 4. And he misses. Okay, so the Soviets only have to lose 1. And it's going to be their infantry. And then we take over East Poland. All right. All in all, not too bad. We lost an infantry and we lost a cavalry up there in Finland. So I will take that. Okay. We don't have any units to place on the board. We do need a roundel there in East Poland. And we do not get to collect income from East Poland because it's captured. Okay, I think that will do it. Now let's collect some income and call it a day. Now we have to remember that we do get 3 for Molotov-Ribbentrop. And we don't get anything for propaganda or Lend-Lease because we're not at war with a major power. And I don't think we have any of these down here. No, we do not. Hopefully we'll get Winter War soon. Okay, so let's collect 22. And that will give us a decent amount to spend for next turn. All right, next up will be Japan, turn number 7. And as always, thanks for watching. I hope you take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.